the diagram here. You can see that like I explained you in functional foremanship, F.W. Taylor stated that there should be two departments, two division. One is planning, another is production. So planning department is headed by planning in charge. He is available there. And production department is headed by production in charge. And these two in charges separately are assisted by 4 specialists each. Okay. So he is having 4 specialists by the name of instruction card clerk, route clerk, time and cost clerk, and disciplinarian. Now this production in charge is assisted by 4 specialists, that is speed boss, gang boss, repairs boss, inspector. Let me tell you very common thing about these, just a single trick to remember all these. See, here 3 are clerks and 1 is different. Here 3 are bosses and 1 is different. Alright, so by this you can remember. So what are 3 clerks? Instruction card clerk, route clerk, time and cost clerk, and disciplinarian is here, and speed boss, gang boss, repairs boss, and inspector is here. Alright, so now see the arrows. These arrows indicating towards worker. It means what? All these 4 plus these 4, these all 8 are giving instructions to workers. Alright, whether you talk about a single worker will be receiving the commands, instructions, directions from all these 8 specialists. Alright, okay, now I know what is striking to your mind right now. Okay, when we were discussing about the principles of Henry Fayol, then there was one principle called unity of command. Alright, so this unity of command is opposite to this, or you can say this functional foremanship technique is completely opposite to the unity of command principle given by Henry Fayol. Because in that, what was stated? It was stated that every employee or worker should receive commands or orders or directions from a single superior. Alright, but here a single worker is receiving commands or direction or orders from 8 superiors. Now you can see this is what the difference between the principles of Henry Fayol and F.W. Taylor. However, it is a technique, but it is supporting the principles. Fine. So this is opposite to that. Okay. And let me tell you one more thing. This functional foremanship is the extension of one principle given by Henry Fayol, which is what? Division of work. At the time of division of work, we understood that division of work means dividing the work into small tasks as per the capabilities of the individual, so that they become, by doing it again and again, they become specialized, and that specialization leads to productivity and efficiency of the organization. Alright, so here also F.W. Taylor is talking about specialization. He has hired the 4 specialists for production purpose and 4 specialists for planning purpose. Alright, so he is also talking about specialization. So we can call it, this is the extension of division of work principle given by Henry Fayol. Alright, but opposite to what? Unity of command. Remember this can come in any case studies or in any question directly can be asked, so you need to keep in your mind. Alright. Now you understand what amazing technique F.W. Taylor has given. Okay, he has tried to explain these were the kind of qualities that he wanted in a single foreman, but he could not get. That's why, as per the functions, 8 functions, he said that 8 foremen should be there to be guiding all the time, instructing all the time the workers. Alright, these remain all the time on the head of the worker. Now let me tell you one more thing. What F.W. Taylor did, he was focused about applying his scientific management, okay, in the organization, in the factory system, which was about increasing productivity and efficiency. Okay, but in that run, he did not do injustice with the workers as well. You can see this kind of system has really made a worker literally a kind of machine. He has stressed on converting human resource into a machine. But even then, he did not do injustice or exploitation with any worker, because he has already explained in his principle that principle should be followed, and in every principle you will not find any kind of injustice, okay, or exploitative behavior towards worker. He was all the time talking about supporting them, okay. And in the techniques as well, however, he has made the all process scientific, but even then we cannot blame him that he gave a system in which the employees are exploited. Not at all. Deserving candidate, deserving workers get the deserving amount, and the person who does not deserve that kind of amount, he has to suffer, and that has to be there. That is a kind of fair system with anyone. So how he has developed, what he has created for that, we'll talk about it when we finish all the techniques given by him. Then you will understand that this system is very much practical and scientific and fruitful as well. All right, so within no time, let's talk about the functions of these 8 specialists. Very first, let's have discussion about instruction card clerk. What he does, like you can say by the name, it is already clear, but even then I give you the explanation. So instruction card clerk is a kind of person who writes or drafts instructions for the worker. Like we have understood about this department. This department is working for what? Planning. Planning related to production process. Whether it is about bringing raw material, how the raw material will be brought, from where it will be brought, at what cost it has to be brought, who will be bringing that, how much time it is going to take, okay, what were the previous stock, everything he has to keep in the mind, and then he has to plan. All right, and for that these are the 4 assistants, okay, who are directly in the touch of workers. He has to make certain kind of cards in which he writes instructions. And what happens, say for example there are 10 workers, I am taking very short example. So he will prepare instruction card. There will be no one to provide that who will be doing what. Already 10 cards are kept, okay, and they know who is to pick which card, and instructions are written there what they are supposed to do, okay. So in that case, his job is, as he is belonging to planning department, so his job is just to write instructions. All right, and when he writes instructions, draft instruction, then he remains in the contact of the worker, okay. He remains in the contact of this planning in charge as well. Understood the point? So instruction card clerk is a person who writes or draft instruction on cards to be followed by the workers, okay. Now let's move on to another clerk. Another clerk is route clerk. Route, you know, route means way, path, okay. So here this specialist of foreman or clerk has to clarify, has to decide that which route will be followed for production, because for producing any material, for running the production process, there are various kind of methods. All right, so he has to decide that out of all the alternatives, which alternative has to be followed, okay. As this is the work of the planning department, so he gives the directions, okay, but under planning, okay. And when he plans about deciding the best path or best route to produce the material for the successful production, he has contacts with the workers as well as with the in charge, okay. So taking the help of those, he decides that which production method has to be followed, okay. So route clerk is what? He's a person who decides the route of production or method of production, okay. Now let's talk about the another clerk, that is time and cost clerk, okay. By the name of time and cost, you understand something. So he is a person who prepares 2 kind of sheets. One is time sheet and another is cost sheet, okay. So what happens when we are going to undertake production process? So production process may have various kind of steps or activities or tasks, okay. So which task is going to take how much time, and which task is going to cost how much, he has to finalize everything because he is also belonging to planning department. Okay, but he remains in the contact of the worker and as well as he remains in the contact of the planning in charge. So by consulting those, he plans that which activity is going to take how much time and how much cost. So that is what the job of time and cost clerk, to prepare cost and time sheet. All right. Now let's talk about this person, this specialist, disciplinarian. Disciplinarian means, or you can call it discipline in charge. He has to take care of the discipline. Discipline means, okay, he has to see that whatever rules and regulations have been already formulated by either top level management or middle level management or his superior or by himself for the workers or for the betterment of the organization. So these are being fulfilled or not. Okay, he himself can make certain kind of laws, rules, regulation for the workers to follow the production process. He has the authority because he is the discipline in charge. Okay, he has to take care or ensure discipline in the production process. All right. So this is all about planning process. Now let's talk about production process. Okay, whatever planning has been done, okay, it has to be implemented by these all four specialists. Let's talk about speed boss. What he does, he checks whatever time limit has been set, that work is happening according to that or not. If it is not happening, he will stress all the worker that the work has to be done as per the time already fixed. All right. So he has to keep pushing all the workers so that the particular activity is completed in the pre-decided time. All right. You can say he focuses on timely and accurately completion of the job. Okay. So that is what the job of speed boss person. Now let's talk about gang boss. What he does? Gang. Don't think anything negative about it. Okay. What he does, his responsibility is that because when workers are going to start production, they'll have to deal with the machines and tools. So that is what the responsibility of this person, that all the machines and tools have to be there in the position that these can be operated very easily. These are not having any kind of problem. So his job is before production. He has to ensure that all the machines and tools are working properly. These are there in operational position or not. Okay. So that production may not get hampered. All right. So his job is to ensure the proper functioning of all the machines and tools. All right. Now understand repairs boss. You can easily understand by the name of repairs. See, gang boss was checking that everything is in order or not, everything is in the proper operation or not. But repair boss, what he does, when the production starts, then if any kind of problem is happening in any machines and tools, then he has to take care of that. Repair boss takes care of that. Now how that particular machine will be repaired, that is not there that he himself is going to repair that, but he'll make the person available. That is what his responsibility. Otherwise what will happen, the workers will stop the process, and when the supervisor comes and he sees the why the production is not happening, sir, machine has gone out of order. Okay, so why didn't you tell me that machine has gone out of order? So there is no one to inform. He himself will take care of that because he remains in direct touch with the worker. That is his responsibility. Okay, if production process stops in the middle just because of getting any machine out of order, then he is responsible and accountable for that. So he takes care of that. All right. So he ensures proper repairing of the machines and tools while these are in operation. Okay. Now let's talk about inspector. Inspector is not a kind of policeman over here. Okay. You need to understand. Inspector means, okay, there is a person who has to keep inspecting that whether the quality of the goods being produced is just matching to the standard or not. Okay, because if workers are showing inefficiency, laziness, or a kind of carelessness, and just because of this they have produced a kind of material which is low standard, then what happens? Organization is going to suffer if he does not keep an eye on those people. Then what happens? The same kind of material will be forwarded to the customer, and in that case what happens? The goodwill of the organization goes down. All right, so that is why he is responsible for that, that any kind of material has to be checked by him whether he is meeting these quality standards or not. He has to ensure the proper quality of the goods and material. All right, so we understood these four are related to planning and these four are related to production, but these all eight are instructing, directing, or having discussion, or are in direct touch with the every worker working in the production process. All right, so this is all about functional foremanship technique given by F.W. Taylor. All right, so if we want to conclude this technique in a single sentence, then we can say, according to this technique, you can say that task of supervision is divided into specialized functions, and each function is entrusted to a specialist. Fine, you can see that the task of foremanship means specialization has been divided into different functions, and each function is performed by a different person. All right, this is what the functional foremanship in a nutshell. Now let's move on to another technique given by F.W. Taylor.